Howdy folks, I hope you're well. How is everyone? Hope you can hear me, let me know. We've got people tuning in. Yeah, got people watching, got people tuning in, all good. So, how is everyone? How's everybody coping in this new weird world we have? Day one of lockdown. Day one of lockdown here anyway in the UK. And some weird times indeed. Some weird times. Nice to see people tuning in. Let's see who we've got on. We've got let's have a look who we've got tuning in. We've got Dave Beresford, Dave Redmond, Andrea Portois, Pat Marr, Mickey Brown, Mark Anderson, Kev Parsons. Thank you all for watching. Good to see. So like I said, I'm going to be doing I'm going to probably do a video a day for now, because I've had people saying, can we do more videos? And considering, well, if you're watching this within the UK, you know, but if you're watching outside of the UK, today officially is the first day of our lockdown in this new weird world that we live in. And if I can just do a video, talk about whatever people want to talk about, I thought I'd do that. People watch it, and hopefully it helps some people. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. And like I said yesterday, for instance, now we've got 28 people watching on the page. We've got 8 people watching on YouTube. We've got 25 people watching in the RPI group, but we also have 3 people watching on my personal profile. Now, to those 3 people watching on my personal profile, all the other ones are pigeon related. The 3 people watching, it's 5 people now watching on my personal profile. Like I said yesterday, my Facebook stuff has shifted a little bit, and you may have seen me say, you know, why do I bother? That's how I felt when 2 weeks ago my Pigeon account was closed down due to some lovely person or people reporting me for having 2 Facebook accounts, which in theory is actually against Facebook terms of service and not allowed. But I did it for a very specific reason. I had 5,000 people on my Facebook Pigeon profile, and all of those people, or 99.9% of them, were Pigeon people. So I did it to focus, and you know, and then this other profile that you're maybe now 6 or 7 of you are watching me on, the actual profile, was my other normal, regular, non-Pigeon thing. And ultimately, I only have 1 Facebook account now because of these reasons. And so there's definitely going to be a crossover. So if you're watching, there's 8 people watching on my profile now. If you are a Pigeon person watching me on my main Facebook profile, you will see me talk about non-Pigeon stuff. And actually, I don't apologize for that. If you only, like I said again yesterday, if you only want to hear me talk about Pigeon stuff, then 90% of the time you are best just to watch me from the RPI Facebook page, facebook.com/Racing Pigeon International, or the RPI group, facebook.com/groups/Racing Pigeon International. 90% of the time I'm going to talk about Pigeon stuff. If you see a video come out on that page or that group, that's the deal. But increasingly in these times, I think we need to talk about other stuff outside of pigeons as well. So I am going to be talking about non-pigeon stuff as well, because that's the life that we're leading at the moment, and I think it's important not just to only talk about that. Now, if, like the 8 people watching me on my profile at the moment, if you are a friend of mine on my profile and you see me go live, I'm having what I hope is a relatively simple coding system. I've had people complaining about, I only want to hear about pigeon stuff when I had the pigeon profile and I happen to talk about non-pigeon stuff. And that's absolutely fine. But if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you are going to hear me here talk about non-pigeon stuff, because this profile was always my non-pigeon stuff. So what I'm trying to say, but not very well probably, is this. I've got a little coding system. If you see RPI, like you've not seen RPI on the video today, on the title of the video, if you see me go live and I've got RPI in brackets, you know I'm talking about pigeon stuff. If you just see me put live, I'm going to perhaps be talking about pigeon stuff, but non-pigeon stuff as well. And so, like the 80 or so people watching across all the channels at the moment, I hope that kind of makes sense a little bit. I want to, I don't want people to think, oh, I'm tuning in, but I don't want to hear about that stuff. So if you see RPI in the title, you know I'm talking about pigeon stuff. If you see other stuff in the title, I'm probably talking about whatever else I normally talk about on this profile. And as I say, if you only want to hear about pigeon stuff, any video going out on the RPI page or the group is predominantly going to be about pigeon stuff. So there we go. I hope that kind of helps a little bit. Kev Parsons, yeah, I'm all right. Thank you. I hope you're well as well. Michael Finney, mostly locked down here in Ireland now as of 5 p.m. Yeah, I saw that on the news. I saw your Taoiseach speaking in Dublin. Alan Morley, hello to you as well. We've got Ray Dolan tuned in. We've got a bunch of people tuned in actually, which is really good. So yeah, like I said, day one here, lockdown. If I'm absolutely honest, and I know I'm not saying this in any way other than just telling you how it is for me. If I'm absolutely honest, with the exception of going to train my dog on a Friday afternoon, which I'm not going to be able to do, if I'm absolutely honest, at this moment in time, lockdown doesn't really affect me, because I sit here God knows how many hours a day, and I'm pretty much doing the same thing whether I'm in lockdown or not. My parents are not coming over as they normally would once a week, and obviously over a period of time other things will come up that I'm able to do. But I'm absolutely honest, with the exception of Gabby now working from home and Zandy being here for God knows how many months because his GCSEs are cancelled and he's going to get whatever grades he's going to get. Not a great deal of massive change, and to be honest, if anything, this next 3 weeks, God knows how long it's going to be, but definitely 3 weeks, just makes me be able to focus on online stuff and all of that stuff. So yeah, if I'm honest, not a massive effect, but I'm very aware that a lot of people are really affected by this and are not lucky enough to be able to work in front of a computer like I do. So, hard times, unprecedented. Like I said to Zandy, I said, all being well, you will never experience times like this ever again. Let's hope not. But yeah, it's hard, and fear does, uncertainty and fear are two of the worst things that a human being can experience. And unfortunately, uncertainty and fear are created by situations like this. Now, uncertainty, everybody has some uncertainty in their lives at the time, but the fear element is very real. And I think we're all in it together for a start. Like, I'll be honest with you, I've been a little bit up until yesterday, I thought there was a bit of an overreaction by some elements of people. But I think what did it for me is on TV yesterday with regarding to the coronavirus, I saw a marathon runner on TV, 32-year-old guy, runs marathons, fitter than most of us watching this, definitely fitter than me. And I saw the marathon runner on, and he was admitted to hospital. He had to have help breathing. And he's probably got long-term kidney damage. And I think that made me think, if he can get this and be really affected by it, that's next level. Then I also saw a consultant, A&E consultant, on saying, please just listen to what you're being told, because it's for me, it's shifted about, it's not whether I get it or whether my family get it. I'm lucky that my immediate family don't have any underlying health issues, and it's how what you give to other people. And the NHS, it's making sure the NHS can to the best of its ability cope, and being reckless and not adhering to what you're being told ultimately will pay the price of the NHS being overstretched. And like in Italy, without getting too political, in Italy now there are patients that are being not able to be treated because they just haven't got the resources to treat them. And I definitely, and I'm sure everybody would agree, we don't want to see that happening here in the UK and Ireland. So strange times, but times where other things come out of it. We have to stick together. It makes us realize what's important in life. It makes us, in a weird way, although we can't be, we are all born to be social animals, but in a weird way, on a remote level, it makes us more cohesive. It makes us more realize how important friendships and community and everything are. And I think actually a lot of people's lives long term could be changed in a different direction after this, for good. Certainly people's mentality. And if you're sitting here getting stressed about it, I would urge you to step back, see what you've got going on in your life. Most people watching this are going to have a roof over their head and food in the cupboards, and we'll get through this. And certainly, for me, resilience is a thing that I like to think that I've got in abundance, and I think it's just going to make people even more resilient. So as the hoodie says, I've got 99 problems, but we carry on and we get through. Dave Barrister said, I've got underlying health problems, asthma, got warning from the doctor today, stay at home, high risk at the moment as I'm well. He said it's really life and death. And I completely agree, Dave. Like I said, asthma, any underlying health issues, it's a big deal. And like I said, for those of us that are fit physically and well, it's not about whether we get it or not, it's whether we give it to someone like you, and that's the key. And then if you do get it, how the health services are going to cope. And it's our responsibility. Now, it's our responsibility to make sure we can do everything we can to help the NHS and the health service in Ireland cope. I do have my own theories on how this all started and perhaps why it started. I won't go into them now, it's not the time or the place, but I find it quite interesting that the Chinese are coming out of lockdown and are quite a way ahead, progress further than us, but that's perhaps another live one day after all of this horrible madness is gone. But we are in the here and now. And the here and now is we need to protect these health services and help as much people as we can that are working day in, day out to save people's lives. And if that means my Zandy summed it up a little bit. People moaning about being locked down for at least 3 weeks. Again, I know perhaps some people haven't got the fortune of having, obviously homeless people and what have you are really struggling, but most of us watching this, even though we are got financial stresses and issues, we've got house over our head, roof over our head, and we've got food, and that's what we need to be thankful for. And I'm unlucky in that I haven't got any pigeons yet because of all of the house stuff. I haven't managed to get it set up. But if you're watching this and you and the 7 people watching on my profile perhaps maybe not be pigeon people, the rest are pigeon people, and it's a time to bond with the pigeons and work with them, because ultimately one of the things I'm looking forward to when I start keeping them is that being my release. At the moment, it's funny, I was training the new Luca dog, and Zandy came with me on Friday, and he said, Dad, it's the first time I've seen you smile so much in many months. And that was interesting, because that's kind of my release. That hour of training him, I don't think about anything else. I only think about his training and what I've got to do to train him. And I think when you guys go into the lofts, that's your release, and you've got to embrace that. Who knows what's going to happen? Like I said yesterday, I haven't spoken to, I know Ian Evans is incredibly busy. I am going to try and get him to do a quick interview at some point when he can. I have no idea what's going on. I personally, my own gut feeling is that old bird racing is not going to happen at all this year. But we will have to wait and see, I guess, how things go. Did the guys cancel the racing there, Alexandra? Yeah, it's put back at the moment. It's not. I don't think it's actually cancelled, but I can see it being cancelled. All club-fed races, I can imagine, will be. So yeah. So in New York, the old bird season's been cancelled. I can imagine. Andre Potier says, I understand that birds must be delivered by courier only to the IPRA one-off race. That may be correct. I'm not sure about that, Andre. What I will say is this, just so you know. I spoke to Mark Walker today from Walker's Transport. And despite everything that's going on, it's business as usual for Walker's Transport at this moment in time. They are going to do everything they can to continue the service. They've got orders in this week. I anticipate them being busy for the next few weeks. If they can continue, legally, government issued wise, they will. At the moment, I think I've got these dates right. No European birds in or out until at least the 27th of April. But within the UK and Ireland, it's business as usual. I spoke to Mark Walker this morning. It is business as usual for them. So if you have got pigeons within the UK and Ireland that need to be moved in or out, Walker's Transport, Walker's Euro Transport, it's walkerstransport.co.uk, is business as usual. So that's great. And well done to Mark and all of his team for continuing going on. And obviously they got to put stuff in place, the social distancing and stuff, and that's fine. But business as usual for Mark Walker, which is good. And thank you to them for to being able to help people out. At the end of the day, birds still need to move around. Obviously some of the pigeon supply places, they're all open because everybody needs to feed their livestock. So yeah, thank you to Mark for keeping going and allowing people to still move their pigeons around. So yeah, here at RPI we keep going, and like I said, I had a bit of a kick with my pigeon profile being disabled by Facebook because some horrible person, let's call them, or people definitely did that to affect me. But I've had massive amount of support, great support from many people when I posted, because I was very stressed and I said, why do I bother? And I had so much great feedback. So we continue. RPI, the main TV show, online show, RPI is going to be back 8 o'clock on Monday, all being well. The weird thing, like I said yesterday, is my internet's holding up really well. Just as I change providers tomorrow, my internet's going well. No issues, no nothing, no breaks in service or anything. So just they seem to have sorted their act out, not at the speeds they tell me Vodafone tell me they can do. But just as I'm switching tomorrow to Sky, the internet seems to work. So let's hope tomorrow I get faster speeds and no issues. But all being well, RPI Live, Monday, 8 o'clock as normal, starts back on next Monday. Dave Burton said, it's true, Mark, health is your wealth. Absolutely, you know. You've only got one life, stay safe and well, look after each self, lads, or families. Let's come out of this on the positive side. That's the big thing, Dave. We've got to keep positive, because you know what? Worrying unnecessarily and getting stressed on that. Look, everybody gets stressed. This is a massively stressful time for a lot of people. But worry never got anybody anywhere. Trust me. I know worry doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't. And we've got to keep positive on this. This will, I think, have the ability to change some people's lives for the positive longer term. Not immediately, not for all this current rubbish at the moment, but long term, I think actually people will look back at this and I think it could help people and change their lives. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Mark Anderson says, from what I hear, Evans is having an RPRA meeting today on racing, and we will no doubt come out personally. I'd be surprised if we get racing this year. Probably right, Mark. I will message Ian tomorrow morning to see if he's got any updates, so I can give them to you. And I'll let you know if there's any news. Yeah, I mean, definitely Old Birds is done. Whether Young Birds can happen, who knows? You're probably right, Mark. I would imagine it's cancelled, but we'll see. It's very much a sit and wait type thing, isn't it? I told you about Charlie Gibson's auction yesterday. Going good. We just crossed £5,300 in bids. But what I would say is this. Again, apologies to the 5 people watching on my profile. We're talking pigeons now. But the other 68 people watching are probably watching relating to pigeons. This is what not having 2 Facebook accounts, one for pigeons and one for non-pigeons, does for you. It is what it is. These are the times we live in. But what I was going to say is this little Charlie, 2-year-old Charlie Gibson. For those of you who didn't hear me talk about it yesterday, Charlie was diagnosed in January with cancer on his liver. He had his liver and the tumour removed last week. He's doing well. A bunch of guys, instigated by Mark Caldwell, really got together and put this auction together. And then Neil Gibson, Charlie's father, asked me to do the auction on RPI Auctions, which I was only too pleased to help do. Let me tell you, well, first of all, to any of the cynics out there, I'm not taking a penny for doing this auction, of course. But what I want to tell you is there are some amazing pigeons up there pledged to this auction. You've got pigeons from Sean Hunt. You've got pigeons from Mark Caldwell. Thomas Allott, red card pigeons. I mean, there are some really great pigeons. Chris Ryan, Brian Gorton, Steve Chapman, Dave Olberson, Jeff Herring, Joe Smith, Lee Hart's put pigeon in, Sagers and Fishwick. That little pit pigeon is an amazing pigeon. What a cheap price at £140 at the moment. Johan Hendrik Showman, Steve Farrager, Jack Berry, Blaine McElroy, R&D Hunt's put 2 in, R. Baker, Patrick Cousins, Mark Trinder, Owen Jonesbury and Son. Crean O'Connor's put a pigeon in. A double grandchild of world-renowned Mystique's in there. £350 at the moment. A&L Painter. Jeff Greenaway's got one in there. Child of 2 national winners, £300 at the moment. Nevin and Barry's got one in there. That's part 1. We've got 2 parts to this auction because there was so many pledged. So there's 26 on Saturday ending, and then another 26 on Sunday ending. Stephen Fennick, Bob Fennick put one in each. Kev Parsons has got one in. Now, here's the thing with Kev Parsons' lot. Kev's watching this, but I want to highlight this. That there is no pigeon bred this same way from Kev Parsons has ever left this loft. This is the first time a pigeon this way bred from Kev Parsons has ever left this loft. So you've got some real gems here. Herbert's brothers have put one in. Raf Herberts has put one in. Bart and Nancy Van Okel's put one in. Eddie Grujon's put one in. Tom Scott's in. Brecon Lofts. Darren May's put one in. Really stunning birds going way too cheap at the moment. So go and bid if you can afford to. There are some great birds in. Jeff Hall from the USA's. Tom Fagan from Ireland's put one in. This Claude and Michelle Blanchart's put one in. Mark Evans, direct from a national winners, put one in. Tom Lee Lofts have put one in. Neil Gibson himself put one in. Bert van den Bulks directly put one in. You can get a one venture bird for Who Dares Wins in at the moment. Gary Tomlinson's pledged one. This, to me, the Miracle pigeon, same way bred as the Miracle. First Open North Classic Carlton, Youngbird 2019 from McKean DeCosta Smith. That pigeon, I think, stunningly bred out of the Gabby van der Beele's. It's at 50 quid at the moment. What a steal. Dave Bradshaw's put one in. Philip Bowles put one in. Jack Potloff's, Carl Donnelly's put one in. And Adam Moran's put one in. John Angwin, a grandchild of Kittle. Lot 26, part 2, a grandchild of Kittle. Roman Klein from Holland's put one in as well. What I'm telling you is there's some way too cheap pigeons in there at the moment, and this is a great cause. I want to see these pigeons do well for the people that have put them in, and I want to see them do well to get as much money as possible for little Charlie Gibson. Appreciate everybody that's put them in and appreciate everybody that's bid so far. But at the moment, there are some way too cheap pigeons in there. The first part 1 finishes on Saturday. The second part finishes on Sunday. They start finishing at 7 o'clock UK time on Saturday, 7 o'clock UK time on Sunday, and there's a 2-minute gap between each lot. And every time somebody bids in the last 10 minutes, it extends by 30 seconds. So they're ending in stages. Why? Because we want to get as much money for Charlie and his family as possible. But when I see some of the pigeons in there, at the moment, people need to bid some more money. Help Charlie get some great stock. Simple as that. I realise some people watching this can't perhaps afford to be bidding on pigeons at the moment, and that's completely understandable. If you can't, but you fancy donating a couple of quid to Charlie's cause, you can donate direct to Charlie. His father's dealing with the PayPal. A gift for, so it's a gift and then the number 4 charlie@gmail.com. You can donate £1, £2, or £5. Anything obviously will help. But if you can't afford to bid on them, understand, not a problem. But if you want to send £1 or £2 or £5, if you do, send it to friends and family so that there's no commission charged. But send £1 or £2. Anything helps. It all is very much appreciated. I know people are watching this and some people are struggling, understandably. So I don't want people to think, oh, keep banging on about this auction. And look, at the moment with these times, 50 quid's a lot of money if you ain't got it. Completely get that. So yeah, go and have a look at it. rpiauctions.com. Like I said, there's 54 lots there. Some damn good pigeons in there. The other thing I wanted to briefly mention, I mentioned it yesterday, is I'm doing a bonus ball for Gary Tomlinson's Who Dares Wins race. This race is going ahead. It's £100,000 guaranteed money. It's £40,000 first prize. And if you go to pigeonprize.com, you can go and get a ticket, pick your own number, get a ticket for a tenner, and it's your chance to win a 3-bird venture team. So that's 3 birds that are in the loft already as venture pigeons. It's £500 normally to put 3 pigeons in, and Gary charges £200 for these venture pigeons each. Your chance to win a 3-bird venture team. Like I said, the pigeons are already in the loft, right? There are 5 teams available. You can go, it's a tenner a ticket. It's your chance to go and win a 3-bird team in the Who Dares Wins. And remember, £40,000 first prize, tenner gets you in with your chance to win. I do have, so I've got 5 bonus balls here, and there are 5 other venture teams available. I've had a few people ask me about the venture teams, the 5 I mentioned yesterday. At this moment in time, I have 5 more teams available, venture pigeons. If you're interested in buying a venture team, all of these pigeons are bred by Gary Tomlinson himself. For those of you know Gary, knows you, he doesn't have anything in his loft that's not worth being in there. If you're interested in getting a venture team, or maybe you want to put a syndicate together of these teams, I've got 5 venture teams available in addition to the bonus ball teams that I'm putting out there as well. Bonus ball, dead simple, 59 numbers. As soon as the 59 are sold, the next National Lottery bonus ball number will be the winner. The system does it all automatically. No messing around. Whatever the number of the National Lottery bonus ball is the number that wins. And it's your way of getting, again, not everybody's got £500 to put a venture team in. Tenner, get you a ticket. Hopefully you can win a venture team. If you are wanting to put, perhaps you like the idea of putting a syndicate together, get 2 or 3 of your mates together. These pigeons are already in the loft, bred by Gary. Get 3 of your mates together, each go in, 4 or 5 of your mates, £100 each, and you've got a team in. If you're interested in the venture teams, let me know. I've got 5 available as we speak at the moment. Going back to the auction for a minute, a lot of these pigeons are late bred last year for stock this year. Go through the auctions. There's some 2019 pigeons in there for the auction for little Charlie Gibson at rpiauctions.com. They're not all young birds. For instance, the Dirk van der Bolt pigeon is a 2019. There are some 2019 pigeons in there. So make sure you have a look at the lots and see what's what. Because like I said, for instance, I'm going to show you... I'm going to quickly show you again. There are some 2019 birds in there. They're not all young birds out of the nest. All right? Have a look through the lots and you'll see what I mean. It spells it out what's what. All right? Some of the pigeons are ready now. Some are going to be ready in a few weeks. Some will be ready in a month or so's time, what have you. But again, go and support it. And again, if you're in the market for some top pigeons and you want to help little Charlie, 2-year-old Charlie, it all helps. One thing as well is if you buy, for every ticket you buy in the Pigeon Prize draw for the Who Dares Wins 3-bird team, for every ticket you buy, 10%, i.e. £1 of the ticket, is going to Charlie's fund pot as well. So there you go. With that, so if I can get all of these tickets sold, it's 250, 300 quid going over the Charlie's pot as well. I was going to look to do I was going to just do an auction for a 3-bird venture team, but I thought actually I've got 10 teams available in that race to sell, essentially. All right, I thought I'm not going to just sell all syndicates in the race because again, some people don't want just all syndicates. But what I thought I would do is I thought I would bonus ball them out so most people can have a tenner spare and have a bit of a chance to be able to get involved in the race. Right, where's my little camera gone? My camera's disappeared. 1 second. Not that one. I want to get it off that. Not that one. Sorry, folks. My camera's disappeared. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, back to looking at me. What else was I going to say? I can't remember. If there's anything you want to be specifically talking about, you want to ask me, you want me to go and find out, you want me to try and talk to people, like I said, I will message Ian Evans tomorrow and I'll see if there's any news that I can share with you live or as close to live as possible. Tough times, what can we say? We just got to keep going. It's as simple as that. We just got to keep going, carry on, plow on, and we will all get through this. And I will say, and specifically, like I've said earlier, but for those that you may have missed it, I'm blown away by the support that I've been getting and the good comments. When I said, my little "Why Do I Bother" video, blown away by the support, and thank you very much for doing so. A couple of people have asked about the Who Knows Wins, the Widowhood DVD. It is available online now to go and buy as a downloadable video for those of you who don't live in the UK and want the DVD. Go to racingpigeoninternational.com, click the store, and you can see it there. I will put out, Dave Beresford, the PayPal address. Let me just do that now. Let me do that now. It's a gift for charlie@gmail.com. Let me do this 1 second, folks. So I'm just putting it out on the pages, and hopefully, it depends where you're looking at it, Dave, but 1 second. Hopefully you see that. It's a gift for the number 4, charlie@gmail.com. Hang on, let me try and see if I can display that. 1 second. Why can't I display that? A gift, the number 4, charlie@gmail.com. Dave, message me and I'll send it to you if need be. But yeah, donate £1, £2, doesn't matter. Anything to help. If you can't bid on the auction or you don't need any pigeons at the moment, just send a £1 or £2 or £5 or whatever you can afford. If you can't afford, the fact that, what else can you do? If you can't afford anything at the moment, just go and share the auction out with friends who may be interested. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, folks, it's about being more kind to each other in these trying times. We've got to be more kind. We've got to look after each other as best possible. Speaking of which, you may or may not remember, quite a few months ago now, I highlighted a guy called Peter who had his Budapest High Flyers decapitated during New Year's. It got me personally because some horrible, can't swear person went in and did that deliberately. And through some help from you guys, we managed to source some of these pigeons. I managed to speak to the guy that's one of the top breeders of these Budapest High Flyers in the UK. And I'm glad to say Peter's got 5 pair now in there. And that's what it's about. Helping as many people as we can. Cheyenne, Martin, Sean, Crocker, evening Mark, nice to see you back. Thank you very much for doing so. Let's hope I'm still back tomorrow after I change from Vodafone to Sky. Just as my internet connection seems alright, I'm hoping it's just going to go smoothly and seamlessly. We will see. Dishal Rasood, I hope I pronounced that right. Dishad, what do you think if they race Oldenburg Burst together? I don't see that happening, mate, at all. I think personally, again, don't know anything really, just my own opinion. They may cancel Old Bird and see what happens about Young Bird in a couple of months, or they may just cancel a lot. We'll see. I think they're the two scenarios for this year, certainly in the UK and Ireland anyway. We will see. Testing times, folks, testing times. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to get something to eat now. I will be back tomorrow. If you want to talk about anything, if you want to ask anything, do so. I realise, me doing a broadcast every day, some people may not want to see that. Absolutely fine. Other people may. There's a lot of people in there at the moment in situations that they're just not used to. And if I can do a live and it helps just a few people to feel some form of connection during these crazy times, then that's worth it to me. I am going to be doing, because on my other Facebook profile, I do non-pigeon stuff. If anybody wants to tune into that and hear me talk about things not related to pigeons, mainly about business, music, and my realeNtrepreneur.com that I run as well, then just add me on my Facebook profile and you'll see me go from there. And if you want to like my page, it's just facebook.com/Mark Lyford for anything non-pigeon related. You probably don't want to, but I just thought I'd put that out there. I talk about a whole bunch of other stuff outside of pigeons on live as well, and I'm going to be doing those lives as well. So, thanks for watching. Those of you watching, we've still got about 45 people watching, which is very much appreciated. Thank you for watching. Keep safe, and remember, it's not just about you. It's about all the other people and our great NHS service and making sure that we help them as much as possible. If anybody's struggling during this time, I was speaking with Zandy today, and he said, people's mental health is going to be really affected by this. It's very true, and he's very observational as a 16-year-old. I see Jeff Greenaway, just interrupt. Jeff Greenaway's just tuned in. Jeff, thank you very much for the lot that you've put into the auction. There's a lot of interest in your pigeon, and thank you very much for the donation on behalf of myself, who's just running the auction, but thank you from everybody that you've donated as well. I've talked a bit on my pigeon profile and my channels about mental health. I've talked a lot about it outside of pigeons. And in these times, it's going to be hard for a lot of people. What I will say is this. I've been through pretty much everything mental health related you can imagine. And if ever you want to talk in a non-judgmental way, I am always around. I am not in any way, shape or form the fastest on Facebook in any way. I cannot keep up even just with one account now on Facebook. But if anybody wants to talk, you are quite welcome to do so, and just WhatsApp me, and I will try my very best to help anybody that might want to chat or is struggling at the moment, as I have done in the last 12 months or so for a few people, because that's what it's about. We may not be able to be sociable physically, but at least we can still talk and use this great technology that we are all now very accustomed to continue to keep some form of human connection going. Thank you, folks. Have a good rest of your day, your evening, wherever you are in the world. And I will catch you, all being well, new internet connection, pending tomorrow. Catch you soon. Good night.